Have you been through bereavement counseling, but still feel there's something more calling you forward? Let's discuss a different roadmap through loss, your unique way of grieving. It might just be your greatest strength. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Overcoming Grief, a show for women experiencing profound grief and looking for support in healing and transforming their lives. If you are ready to heal after a loss, create a new self-identity, take responsibility to do the hard things, and get massive results in your life, this show is for you. Now, here's your host, Master Grief and Life Coach, Sandy Linda.
Hello, creative humans. Welcome to December. Can you feel that end of year energy in the air? As we are wrapping up 2024, I know many of you are already thinking about your goals and dreams for 2025. But here's something we don't talk about enough. How do you move forward when part of your heart is still processing a deep loss? I am so excited to share something special with you this month. You see, while everyone else is pushing New Year, New You, I want to honor your journey through grief while helping you discover your unique path forward. Because here's the truth. Your loss doesn't have to hold you back from your dreams. It can become part of your strength. This December, I am unwrapping a gift that I believe will change how you see your entire grief journey. And it starts with understanding something fascinating about yourself. Over the next 4 weeks, I am taking you on a transformative journey that may change your perception of your grief experience. After years of working with some amazing women like you, creatives, entrepreneurs, leaders who've lost parents or siblings, I have discovered something fascinating. We all navigate grief differently. And that's not just okay, it's our superpower. Today, I am diving deep into what I call the explorer type. But before I do, let me share my story. After losing several family members in close succession, my whole world shifted. Traditional grief support helped, but something still felt missing. I took these long, solitary walks at sunrise, filling journal after journal with questions and revelations. And honestly, sometimes I felt almost guilty about needing this intense alone time to process everything. That's when it hit me. This different way of grieving wasn't wrong at all. It was a gift. Through my research and work with many grieving women, I have identified 4 distinct grief recovery archetypes, and the explorer is just one of these fascinating paths. Think about it. Have you ever felt like you needed to understand the why of your loss? Have you ever found yourself drawing, writing, or creating in ways you never expected? Maybe you have noticed that while others want to talk about their grief in groups, you prefer to process things on your own first. These aren't random tendencies. They are signposts pointing to your unique way of healing. Let's explore what makes this archetype so special and why understanding it might just be the key to unlocking your level of healing. You know what's fascinating about unlocking your next level of healing? I want to share something that might make you sit up and say, that's exactly how I feel. You see, explorers have this beautiful, unique way of moving through grief. It's like they are carrying an internal compass that guides them to exactly what they need, even if it looks different from what others expect. Let me explain what an explorer on this journey looks like. You might nod along as I describe these characteristics. First, there's this almost magnetic pull towards solitude. But here's the fascinating part. It's not about hiding away. No, it's about creating what I call your sacred thinking space. One of my clients describes it perfectly. It's like I need to turn down the volume of the world to hear what my heart is trying to tell me. Then there's this incredible openness to new perspectives. You might catch yourself looking at a sunset and suddenly understanding your loss differently, or reading a book that seems to speak directly to your experience. It's like your grief has opened a door to seeing life through a fresh new lens. But here's what I find most magical about explorers: they often experience this unexpected awakening. Maybe you have felt it too. It is as if your grief experience has planted a seed that's growing into something you never expected. For some of my clients, it's a surge of creativity they never knew they had. For others, it's a deeper spiritual connection that takes them by surprise. One of my clients put it this way: my mother's passing gave me permission to question everything I thought I knew about life. Some days, I feel like diving deep in my heart. That phrase, diving deep in my heart, beautifully captures it, doesn't it? If you're feeling a vibration with these words, if something inside you is saying, yes, that's me, you might just be an explorer too. Now, as beautiful as this explorer's path can be, and trust me, it is beautiful, I think it's important we pause for a moment and have a heart to heart about something. You know that feeling when someone looks at you like you're speaking a different language? Here's the thing about being an explorer: it's a bit like being a deep sea diver in a world of surface swimmers. The depth you're willing to go to understand your grief is beautiful, but it can also feel isolating at times. I remember working with one client who just broke down on our Zoom call. She said, "Everyone keeps telling me it's been a year, like there's some magical timeline I'm supposed to follow." She looked up at me with tears in her eyes and said, "But I'm still discovering new layers of what this loss means." Being an explorer means facing unique challenges others might not understand. Let me ask you, have you ever had someone say, "Aren't you over this?" Or, "Why do you need to keep talking about it?" If you're nodding right now, know that you're not alone. Sometimes it feels like you're carrying this profound insights, these deep understandings about life and loss, but when you try to share them, it's like trying to describe the ocean to someone who's never seen water. The blank stares, the well meaning but dismissive responses, they can make you feel so alone in your experience. And let's be honest for a moment. Sometimes the explorer tendency to deep dive can feel overwhelming. There are days when you might swim in the depths of your emotions, feeling everything so intensely that you wonder if you've gone too far into the experience. But here's what I want you to hear: your way of processing grief, this deep, thoughtful, exploring approach, it isn't wrong. It is not too much. It is not too slow or too thoughtful. It's how you need to heal. Here's the good news. In my years of working with explorers, I discovered some powerful ways to work with these challenges instead of against them. It's one thing to understand yourself better, which I hope you're doing right now, but it's another to have the right tools for your journey. Now, every deep sea diver needs the right equipment to explore those depths meaningfully and protect themselves. That's why I created something special for explorers like you who aren't afraid to dive deep. I'm thrilled to share something I have poured my heart into creating just for you: our morning journal workbook. But let me be clear: this isn't one of those generic grief journals that tells you how to feel or what to write. No, this is different. This is a companion for your unique explorer journey. Picture having a sacred space where every page understands your need to question, reflect, and discover. Inside, you will find thoughtful prompts that act like gentle flashlights, illuminating paths you might want to explore. There are open spaces for those moments when creativity flows unexpectedly, and gentle guidance for those days when you need just a little direction without losing your autonomy. But I didn't want to stop there. When you subscribe to our email list to receive this workbook, you're also joining a curated weekly journey. Each week, you will receive reflections crafted for explorer types. Think of them as little compass points helping you navigate your path. What makes these resources so unique is that they honor your explorer nature. They don't rush you or force you into a prescribed way of healing. Instead, they create a space for your natural inclination to seek, question, and discover. As I'm sitting here talking with you about the explorer type today, I can't help but feel excited for those of you who have been nodding along, finally seeing your grief journey reflected back to you. But I am also thinking about those of you who might wonder, what if I'm not an explorer? What if my path looks different? That's exactly why I wanted to share something special with you. I mentioned earlier about there are 4 unique grief recovery types. The explorer is just one of these powerful archetypes. And the next time, we will be diving into another fascinating way of processing grief. But here's the thing. You don't have to wait until then to discover your type. I created a carefully crafted quiz that can help you assess your recovery progress and grief journey, leading you toward the resources that will best support your healing. It's not your typical online quiz. It's built from years of working with incredible women like you who are ready to move forward with purpose after loss. I will leave you the link on the show notes. Take a few minutes with this quiz. Think of it as giving yourself the gift of self understanding. Once you know your type, you'll receive personalized resources designed for your grief recovery style. Before we part ways today, I want to leave you with this thought. Whether you are an explorer or discover you're one of our other types, your way of processing grief is unique and valuable. You're not just surviving loss, you're learning to transform it into something meaningful. Thank you for joining me in this Explorer theme recovery session. Let's continue our journey together next time, exploring a different approach to grief recovery. As always, grieve with grace, nurture your inner strength, and lead with courageous hearts. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Overcoming Grief. If you're ready to move into a new, rewarding life experience and want more information about how to work with Sandy, visit www.sandylinda.com.